Welcome to the Tech Byte on the staff portal compare and update and what has changed with the 4.3 version of the software. I'm Beth Elliott and I'm your trainer today, and I'll be going over the changes that have occurred in our compare and update in the staff portal. First, start with what the compare and update does. We're going to go under Students, the Operations area, and compare and update for the new school year. This particular operation, what it does is it allows you to copy student data from one school year to another. And what's really handy in the staff portal is it's going to allow me to change schools, not just school years. There are two options that I can use to go from one school year to another. The top option lets me add new students from my current year to the target year, and it will only do new records. So if the student record already exists in the target year, it's going to ignore it and not make any changes. So at this point, I'm going to do a student range, and I can go ahead and look, say, at the 2021 students, and I can select those students and click OK. So I'm going to take this year's 7th graders and copy them from this year into next year. So it gives me that option, so I can do a student range, set what I want to do, the school years, and the target. And I can scroll down, and because I'm not doing the data fields to update, I can skip that area and just go ahead and process. So this is going to allow me to copy the records from one year to another. So it's letting me know that it added those new records to the target year, and I can click OK. What's also nice is I can do the same sort of transfer and go from the middle school and go, say, into the high school instead. Still do the same target year, but I'm going to change my student range because I want to be able to bring in the 2020 students who are next year's freshmen. So I'm going to go ahead and select all of them, click OK, and I'm going to process again. So it's letting me know I've chosen to move those students from one year to the next. And it let me know that 6 new records went to the new year. If there were a problem with some of the data going from one year to another, then it could indicate with a status report the information that it had a problem with. That might be that, say, a staff member in the homeroom or advisor field was in one database and not in the other, or not in that year, or if the target year had not been activated for the new year yet. So it does give me that option to be able to come in and see it. My second option for going in this compare and update is it allows me to do selected data fields from one year to another, and also from one school to another. So I'm still going from the middle school to the high school, and I'm going to go down and I'm going to select just the contact data. So I'm going to scroll down to my C's and start picking up the contacts it's allowed to pick up through the address area, the phone numbers, the name, the contacts parent portal username and password, that sort of information. So I'm going to go ahead and shift to go all of my contact fields and move them over. And at this point, if there had been any changes from one year to another, so if I was, a lot of times for scheduling purposes, you're going to roll, say, for the high school in January or February, so they can start the scheduling process. And it now might be toward the end of May or June, and you want to have the updated information. So this gives you the ability to say, I want to take those specific fields and go from one school to another and one school year to another. And I can again process. So it's just going to let me do that, and it would be the student range. Now, when I do the data fields, it's only going to do the fields that I selected when it does the apply. So it's going to overwrite those selected fields in the new year. And the reason you're not doing all your fields is that when you're in the new school year, you might have already changed homeroom, maybe even advisor, and the grade level. And just as I can go from the middle school to the high school, I can also go from the middle school to the middle school and do the same thing. And it might be the same years, it might be the same fields, but I might also in the middle school also want to bring my student username and password forward. So I can just scroll down into some of the student information and say that I want the portal username and password and add those things in. And maybe I also want the advisor field for whatever reason. And I can move these over and process. Now, because I changed the school, I probably want to change my student range. So I'm going to go ahead and select everyone. And because I'm doing the compare and update, and I'm doing the for the selected data field, it's only going to do it if I find a match in the new year, which is really handy to have. So it lets me verify that's what I want to do. And it updated the information. Now this time, there was an information that resulted in the status report coming up for me. So at this point, it's letting me know that this teacher or this advisor was not found in the staff table in my target year. So that person might not be there, and I might need to go and change that, but it's going to give me that information so I know what's going to go on. And I only come to the status report if there is a problem. If everything was fine going from one year to the other, it's not going to tell me. That's how you use the compare and update for a new school year in the web portal. So thank you very much for watching this Tech Byte.